Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Tuesday evening here on our YouTube channel. As usual, we're going to carry on with selected excerpts and we're trying to prepare ourselves for the coming up Congress in February. If you are new to our channel here on YouTube, feel free to watch our semester 1, 2, and 3 lessons as an introduction to the Wisdom of Kabbalah. And if you like the Wisdom of Kabbalah, you can always go to Kabbalah.info and join the KABU Academy and study with us and with like-minded people. Now, in the interim, we're going to carry on where we left off, item number 8. And this is, like I said, these are lessons that are preparation for, first of all, the Unity Day on the 29th of December, and also on the 21st of February. We've got a Congress coming up, so we're going to prepare ourselves every Tuesday for that. All right, let's get smashing. As usual, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them through. We'll try to find answers in the excerpts together. Excerpt number 8. This is from Likutei Halachot. The essence of love and unity is in the desire, when each one is pleased with his friend, and there is no disparity of desire among them, and all are included in one desire, by which they are included in the upper desire, which is the complete unity. Once again, let's read it twice. The essence of love and unity is in the desire, when each one is pleased with his friend, and there is no disparity of desire among them, and all are included in one desire, by which they're included in the upper desire, which is the complete unity. All right, so in our study, what we have to try to come to, all of us together actually, need to come to want just one thing, which is what the Creator wants, which is to bestow. So our nature is, as we know, a desire to receive for ourselves. But if we can all, through this study and by supporting each other mutually, unite on an idea, which is to bestow rather than to receive, then that will bring us all together. And that's called being included in one desire, being included in the same desire as the Creator. Okay, let's move on to item number 9. This is from Baal Islam, letter 47. Let me remind you the validity of a love of friends, in spite of everything at this time. For it is upon that that our right to exist depends, and upon that our near-to-come success is measured. Hence turn away from all the imaginary engagements, and set your hearts on thinking thoughts and devising proper tactics to truly connect your hearts as one. So the words, love your friend as yourself, will literally come true in you. Let's read that again. Let me remind you the validity of love of friends in spite of everything at this time. Now, Baal Islam wrote this in the 30s and 40s, I think. So it's that far back, if not earlier. So if during his time and era, the love of friends is, despite everything, this is the most important thing, imagine how crucial it is for us. For it is upon that our right to exist depends, and upon that our near to come success is measured. And we can actually feel this on the world today, in this time, how crucial it is for people to actually unite. And instead of that, as you can see, the world is going from one conflict to another, unfortunately. But in any case, for us, for those of us who are studying and want to come to this spiritual state, for us, this needs to be an ongoing pressuring point on all of us. Hence, turn away from all the imaginary engagements and set your hearts on thinking thoughts and devising proper tactics to truly connect your hearts as one, so the words, love your friend as yourself, will literally come true in you. I guess we've got to leave everything and just focus on this then. Okay, so completely leave everything behind, because at the end of the day, what can we say, really? Even our corporeal life is nothing but a dream, and just having to live it out of lack of choice. So, what Balasam really wants to say here is that for all of us, despite the fact that we have all the worldly problems and dramas, with family, health, work, whatever, that the most important thing that we all need to focus on is just this. This is the most important thing. And our heart should be set on this. So even though during the day we have work, all kinds of chores running around, taking care of, corporeal dealings, in our hearts and mind, we should just be focused on this, that this is the most important thing and everything else is just on the background. And we should be thinking about devising proper tactics to truly connect our hearts as one. So the words love your friends as yourself will literally come true in you. Okay, it's another important matter. Our days shouldn't be just from lesson to lesson. It shouldn't be just from, coming to the lesson and going and learning something and going. No. What we need to do is keep this alive in us all the time. And from the lesson, we should actually pick up some power, strength, desire, and apply it during the day so that we can harness, we can harness and strengthen the love of friends in the 10, in the group, all of us together. There's a responsibility on everyone. All right, excerpt number 10. Okay. The intention of creation was for all to be one bundle, to do the Creator's will. But the matter was spoiled because of the sin, until even the best in those generations could not unite together to serve the Creator. Rather, they were individuals alone. The correction of this matter began in the generation of Babylon, when separation occurred in the human race, to have a gathering of people to serve the Creator. It started with Abraham, and Abraham would call out until a great community gathered unto him, and the people of Israel was made. The end of correction will be when all become one bundle to the Creator's will wholeheartedly. All right, let's read that again. This is from Shem Shmuel. The intention of creation was for all to be one bundle, to do the Creator's will. So all of humanity, actually all of us, all of humanity, need to come to the purpose of life. And there's no running away from it. There's no escape from it. There's a purpose and a meaning to life. And this is something we all have to attain. But the matter was spoiled because of the sin, until even the best in those generations could not unite together to serve the Creator. So the sin is when we are in our egoism, only thinking about ourselves and self-interest. Rather, they were individuals alone. The correction of this matter began in the generation of Babylon, when separation occurred in the human race, to have a gathering of people to serve the Creator. So a separation needs to happen, like in Babylon, which is representing the increase in human egoism and the separation between us, because that's the thing that's separating us from one another, our egoism. And then, having been separated, then it started with Abraham, and Abraham would call out until a great community gathered onto him, and the people of Israel was made. So Abraham gathered a bunch of people from Babylon who wanted to go against their egos, and they understood that life was just empty, nothing to do. All right, think about it. Thousands and thousands of years ago, people in those days as well were going through the same stuff we're going through now, looking at life and thinking, what are we doing here? Okay, absolutely crazy. So when Abraham said, hey guys, there's a reason for our lives and we can have a better life, and that's if we love each other instead of hate each other. So those who agreed with him, they left Babylon with him, and they were called the people of Israel. So he found a bunch of people from all kinds of different tribes from around Babylon and put them together, brought them together. The end of correction will be when all become one bundle to the Creator's will wholeheartedly. And actually, we are pretty much during that time period, as you can see as well. The whole world is pretty mixed up, right? Everybody's living everywhere. It's like a big soup, okay? And everybody's in the same kind of can or pot, and we're all cooking together. Okay, so what we have to do is now, within this mess that we're all in, find a solution to our life. And that solution is basically to go and get to the Creator, which is to change our nature from an egoistic one to a loving one. And that is the whole idea of spirituality. Right now, this portion is done, so we're going to move on to something new here. Okay, and let's see. Okay, just bear with me. I'm just moving us on to the next topic here. All right. Okay, this is the new topic by 10 people. Okay, that's the lesson. And we're going to carry on reading excerpts, selected excerpts. If you have any questions, though, shoot them through. There are no questions at the moment, as far as I can see, which is fine. Okay. So let's carry on reading. This is from Rabash, article number 10, excerpt 1 from lesson number 2, and the topic is but by 10 men. All of the souls extend from the soul of Adam Harishon. For after he sinned in the sin of the tree of knowledge, his soul divided into 600,000 souls. This means that the one light that Adam Harishon had, which the Holy Zohar called Zeira Ilah, upper brightness, which he had in the Garden of Eden at once, spreads into numerous pieces. Once again, all of the souls extend from the soul of Adam Harishon. So we only have one soul, right? So there's only one soul, basically, in reality, and that's Adam Harishon. Adam Harishon means the first man. Obviously, we're talking about a spiritual entity here, not a piece of meat or corporeal body here. This is a structure. One structure was built, and we're all part of that structure. For after he sinned in the sin of the tree of knowledge, which means when he fell into his egoistic desire and stopped bestowing, his soul divided into 600,000 souls. And that's called the shattering, the breaking of the soul of Adam Harishon. This means that the one light that Adam Harishon had, which the Holy Zohar called Zeira Ilah, upper brightness, which he had in the Garden of Eden, at once spread into numerous pieces. So basically, when he sinned, he could no longer receive the light of the Creator because he fell into his desire to receive for himself, and he broke. And this is what our life here is really, basically. We're in this shattered and broken state. Everybody's separated from each other. Nobody cares about each other. Everybody's just thinking about themselves. Everybody's just out for themselves. And that's it, basically. And we're still in that breaking. So this breaking here needs to bring us to such a extent of suffering that we should want to go back into that wholeness, that completeness. And this is why we have a lot of suffering in life. It is really to push a person to, how can I say it? It's to push a person to come to an understanding that living like this is just not sustainable. We just can't carry on living like this. All right. Excerpt number 3 from Baal Islam, letter number 4. You lack nothing but to go out to a field that the Lord has blessed, and collect all those flaccid organs that have drooped from your soul and join them into a single body. In that complete body, the Creator will instill His Shekhinah incessantly, and the fountain of intelligence and high streams of light will be as a never-ending fountain. Once again, excerpt number 3 from Baal Salam. You lack nothing but to go out to a field that the Lord has blessed and collect all those flaccid organs that have drooped from your soul and join them into a single body. So this is our work, really, in spirituality. And this is why we're working in a 10, remember? What is a 10? Well, a 10 is basically us all broken and want to connect and get back into a state of completeness. So the 10 is really the only structure and the only way that we can really kind of, how should I say it, simulate this completeness, work in an area where we can freely, with our own effort, see how our egoism is controlling us, how our egoism is behaving towards others. And that gives us an impression of what our nature is really like. And then, after seeing how our egoism is causing us harm, then we can definitely start now thinking about connecting with others. So when we get to the group and we're studying in the group, often we hear complaints from friends about how, how people are doing wrong things, okay? Or they're not working correctly, okay? So they can't work correctly. We're in shattering, okay? We can't do anything right. So we're supposed to go through all these things where we understand that our egoism is bad and it brings us separation. So we have to be in this understanding. There's nothing we can do about it. So, and there's no use complaining about it either, because the Kabbalah is already telling us, it's saying, listen, you guys are broken. So if we're broken, how can we be doing anything right anyway? Okay. So the first step is always, through the study, is to come to an understanding that we are broken. Okay, not just to believe we're broken because they're writing about it, but to actually see the facts, because we can only believe what we see. And through that, then we can feel how bad this situation is. And if I feel that I am in a bad situation, I can want to change. And then we've got something to talk about, because now we can do the common work. So, complaining about others, and, blaming others, blaming the group, it's just really not realistic. It's just not a realistic approach. Okay. It's not very helpful either. So what we have to do is really focus on how we should be doing the work. So if everybody really focused on what I should be doing, what I have to do to get to the goal, and how I need to contribute to the group, then life can be easy. Okay, it can be easier, or let's say. All right, you guys stop me if there's a question, right? I'm just going to read through these stuff. Excerpt number, there are questions. There are 2 questions. Okay, let's see. We're on excerpt number 4, but let's take a look at the questions first. Melike is asking, no, Kadir is asking, dear friends, I found the link from the YouTube channel. Is there any problem to join the course lessons from the EM? There are no problems joining any lesson. We've got a 2025 semester coming up, and everybody's welcome to join and listen. Okay, and that's the one question, right? There are no other questions. Okay. Excerpt number 4. This is from Rabash, from the article Love of Friends. And the man asked him, saying, what are you seeking? meaning, how can I help you? And he said, I seek my brethren. By being together with my brothers, that is, by being in a group where there is love of friends, I will be able to mount the trail that leads to the house of God. This trail is called a path of bestowal. And this way is against our nature. To be able to achieve it, there is no other way but love of friends, by which everyone can help his friend. Let's read excerpt number 4 again. And the man asked him, saying, What are you seeking? Meaning, how can I help you? And he said, I seek my brethren. By being together with my brothers, that is, by being in a group where there is love of friends, I will be able to mount the trail that leads to the house of God. This trail is called a path of bestowal. And this way is against our nature. To be able to achieve it, there is no other way but love of friends, by which everyone can help his friend. And this is our situation as well. This is how we get to the wisdom of Kabbalah as well. We're always seeking. Seeking what? If we have a dot in the heart, we're seeking how to make meaning out of our lives. What is a meaning in our life? What is the purpose of our life? So a person who's seeking answers must find a group of friends. There is no other way. There's no other way to practice the love of friends. You can't practice love of others on your own. Okay, you're only going to practice love of yourself if you're going to be on your own. So only by being with others, by advancing with others, can we move forward. The important thing to understand here, like Rabbi says, a path of bestowal, and this way is against our nature. All right, so we have to understand this is going to be a bit of a tough cookie because we have to go against our nature. Yeah? But the thing is, if we're all together, then life can become easy. Think of it like how naturally people started living together, right? From cave time onwards, right? From the times that we were cavemen, right? We started living together, right? Why? Because staying alive on your own is a tough business and it's not going to happen, right? So we have to all go out together and hunt a mammoth and then bring it home. So humanity, this is how humanity started kind of like getting together, living together, and understanding that if we're together, life is easier. If we're together, it's worthwhile. You know, we've got some hope to look into the future, right? Otherwise, on our own, even on our own now, imagine how depressive it is and how depressing humanity really is with this new epidemic called loneliness. Right? It's just, it's just making us sick. Not being able to connect with people correctly is making humanity sick. And in fact, all our health, corporeally too, not just psychologically, our corporeal health also, even that depends on the good connection between us and other people. May sound a bit difficult to comprehend at first, but it really isn't. Because if you think about it, what's everyone saying nowadays? The reason we're sick is because we're stressed out and all that kind of stuff, right? You get stressed out, you got, I don't know, heart problems, you get stressed out, you get, I don't know, blood pressure problems. You see, everything is due to stress. And stress is only happening due to life's circumstances. And life's circumstances is a result of the connection between people. That's just how it is. So even our corporeal health, our physical health, really depends on how we treat each other and how we connect with each other. Rightio. Ingrid's asking, hello, how does one attain the Creator? Well, that's a good question. We have to, first of all, see what keeps us away from the Creator, right, through the study. If I want to attain something in life, how do we move forward? We have a goal, right, to attain the Creator. First of all, I have to define the goal as much as I can to myself. Until I attain it, it's never 100% correctly defined because I've never felt it and I don't know. Even in corporeality as well, right? Let's say I want to be a doctor or I want to be a rich person or it doesn't matter what. If I'm not there yet, I don't know what it is. Okay, I just have this imagination in my head about what I think it is like to be, I don't know, a successful business person. So every day I'm kind of taking a little step forward to get to where I want to get to. And that's how we need to start. So by studying, we first come to an understanding that we need to change. And once I begin to understand that what I want to be is something, as the Kabbalists describe, love of others, bestowal to others, then I begin to take little steps towards what I want to become, okay, just like in corporeality, in order to attain it. And then I come across problems, just like in corporeal life, you come across problems when you want to attain something. So now I have problems which I need to overcome, which in the excerpt before he told us that the work is against our nature, right? So we're going to have all these dramas against our nature as we want to move forward in life. And then we're going to have to overcome all of them. And as we overcome all of them, we're going to have to need some help, aren't we? Why? Because in life, too, if I want to do something great out of myself, then it's obvious I'm going to need some help. I can't do it on my own. Nobody can do anything on their own. You're going to need a team. All right. And then you're going to have to work with the team. We're going to have to support each other, help each other. And as we move forward and forward, try to attain this creator that they're explaining to us, we're going to overcome ourselves. We're going to overcome our desire to receive for ourselves. Overcoming the desire to receive for ourselves is a first step in feeling what it is to be loved and bestowed upon by the Creator. We're not bestowing yet, we're not loving yet either. There's a feeling that He is taking care of us and He's relating to us in a loving and caring way. And then we're thinking, wow, that's nice, that feels good. Okay. And then we feel like, well, I want to be like that too. Okay. So then the next phase starts when we look at the Creator because we feel His actions upon us and we say, okay, I want to do the same things that He's doing. I want to be a copycat. Right? So whatever He's doing, I want to do as well. So once we get over all our desire to receive for ourselves and feel the Creator, then we want to be like Him. And then we can actively do acts of bestowal and feel in this thing called the love of others, right? So currently we're feeling life according to self-love. Then we can feel love according to loving others and not thinking about myself and not caring about myself at all, actually. And then through those acts of bestowal, we can begin to attain the Creator. Not just become, not just do the act of bestowal, but really feel His relationship to us and how through that we can reciprocate and build a relationship towards Him. And then life is now not just felt not just felt in us, but like I am in the creator and the creator is like in me. All right. And those are the kind of two major steps. And this is how we start attaining the creator in the group. So we have to go against our nature in many steps and ways until we get out of our skin, as they say. Marlon's asking, the creator works with us, giving us the ability to overcome the evil inclination, the ego, self-love. Then we experience a coupling and adhere with the creator. How we attain the creator? It's all the creator. It's not all the creator. It's the creator. And there's me who is beginning to feel and comprehend what the creator is and relating everything that's happening as his acts on me, which give me the feeling and sensation that there is he, the creator, and me in this flow of unity. So it's not just the creator. There is the person who now feels the creator's acts and actions and is willingly participating in the flow of those actions. And that participation is what we're supposed to do, taking part in his acts and uniting with his acts together, consciously, obviously. And not unconsciously, like they write in the articles and we believe what they write. I want to be integrated into everything he's doing and feel everything that he's doing, understand everything he's doing. And I also want to reciprocate and return his acts of bestowal and love upon me back to him. And those are all from the side of the created being. Active participation. Okay, we can't say it's all the creator, otherwise you would be deleting the created being, right? There'd be no reason to have a created being. So a person needs to feel that there is none else besides him, but he's actually integrated in that there is none else beside him consciously. All right. Excerpt number 5. This is from Tana Debe Eliyahu Zuta. Israel are not redeemed by affliction or by enslavement or by jolting, nor by madness or pressure or by absence of nourishment, but rather by 10 people sitting with each other, and each of them reads and learns with his friend, and their voice is heard. That's nice. Okay, Israel. So what's Israel? Israel means Yashar El, a group of people who want to attain the creator. Yashar means direct, and El is the creator. So if we're all directing our hearts to the creator, that's called Israel. Obviously, we're not talking about a corporeal level. So we can actually read it like this. We, right, the people who are studying, we are not redeemed by affliction or by enslavement or by jolting, nor by madness or pressure or by absence of nourishment, but rather by 10 people sitting with each other, and each of them reads and learns with his friend, and their voice is heard. All right, well, not much to say here. Let's move forward. Ingrid's asking, should one be worried that when the one doesn't feel any pulling towards the group and wants to run away instead? Well, that's always a worry. Okay, that's always a worry. Aren't we always in life too wanting to run away from annoying things? Yeah. We always want to run away from hard situations, things that we dislike, environments or places that we're just feeling like we're, I don't know, under pressure or whatever. That's life. But if we want to succeed, we have to work against it and get some strength and some energy, motivation, inspiration, power, fuel from the environment, from the group. Otherwise, yeah, everybody wants to run away. Who wants to bestow, really? Who wants to? Everybody wants to receive. We all want to receive. We're all a desire to receive. We can't want to really bestow. This is why the first steps are discovering how our nature is evil. Because if you don't discover how egoism is bad and really wrecking us, you never want to leave it. But if you work through it and you understand you're an egoist and you understand that this thing is just horrible, despite the fact that you do want to run away, you feel like that you've got nowhere to run to. You just want to get rid of this skin, right? This egoism. So yeah, everybody wants to run away. But the study should bring us to see, when we look at life, we should just come to an understanding of, where am I going to run to? What am I going to do? And then a person who received at least some enlightenment from the study should say, well, there's nowhere really to run to. I'm still the same me. The world is still the same world. And well, what's going to change? And you can look out of your window and see that it's not getting any better. And you can also see, with a little bit of, common reasoning, that it's not going to get any better. So a person decides to stay, and that's how it is. But it's through an understanding. The study should bring me to that understanding, that this is my nature, and there's just no getting away from it unless I change. Then the study, through not just the understanding, but you get to an understanding through a feeling as well, right? It's not just like we study and understand. We study, we live a bunch of things, the ups and downs, and mostly it's downs. Okay, ups are very rare. Okay, ups come every now and then. It's like, well, hey, got a birthday present once in 10 years or something like that. Okay, but the rest of the 9 years, nobody remembers. Okay, and by going through all these things, you begin to, through the feeling and the sensation, begin to understand that, you're going to either get this done or you're going to die trying getting it done. Because you just don't see any other thing in life that's really going to get anything or bring anything to you on an ongoing basis. All the pleasures in life, whatever we get, you see, I see, we see, that it's just momentarily pleasure. Everything in life is just momentarily. And then what? Days go by, we chase stuff, and what happens is all we do is get old and end up dead. So, yeah, that's basically how it is. So the group, the environment should be strong. And I should also make sure I study in a strong way too. My study should also be strong. I should be in a way where I'm in the study and really biting it and chewing it and digesting it, so that this whole thing really is working on me. And as it works on me, then I begin to kind of like go above the feeling of good and bad and stay in this understanding of truth and lie. So rather than afterwards we become a bit maturer, right? We mature up a little bit. We're cooking. And if we can become a bit more mature, then, then we can look at life from a different perspective rather than chasing all these pleasures and wanting pleasure, like wanting a lolly like a little kid all the time. We can start to look at life a bit more realistically, like a grown-up. Okay. Marlon's asking, I've been studying Kabbalah for about 8 years. Why does it feel like the Creator pulls away and hides sometimes, and then he feels so close and have so many revelations, and then he pulls away again? That's a really good thing to feel in the study, actually, because it grows your desire. It's like a little flirt kind of thing, You're kind of getting good vibes from somebody, and then they're like, hi. And then they're like walking off somewhere, and then you're thinking, what happened? What just happened? Okay. And then it's this, you know, flirting going back and forth and back and forth. And it kind of builds a desire in a person, infatuation, right? Then you become obsessed with the creator. What could be better? Okay, sounds like a bad movie, like Fatal Attraction. Okay, but if you think about it, it grows the desire in a person. It intrigues you more, and the ups and downs become a tool for you to find ways to reconnect with the creator. And that's really important, because otherwise, if we were immediately filled with the light would pretty much cancel the desire out. And then, that's it, game over. So this infatuation keeps the whole thing alive. It builds what we call hishtokakut. In Hebrew, it's called a longing. Right? Someone like long for the creator. Elchin's asking, dear teacher, how can we use egoism as fuel? Can we? We can. What else do we have to use? We don't have anything else. So jealousy, pride, honor, all those kind of things we can use. If we use them correctly, even though they're egoistic, we can move forward. We don't have anything else. Even wanting to connect with the creator, it's all egoism. It's all egoistic. So, but from lolishma, like they say, right, from a desire for ourselves, we're going to come to lishma. Right? So we'll get there. All right. So we're gonna leave it here. We're at item number 6. Okay, so make a note. We're on item number 6, and we'll carry on next week. Okay, in the interim, have a great week. Hopefully, we'll hook up next week and prepare ourselves for the Unity Day, for the weeks to come, and then the February Congress, and hopefully we'll see you guys all there. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Aslında nefesiniz.